And the deceased.
And the deceased. And the other thing is, the evidence in this court is, once Vodacom has delivered the 205 documents to the police, or TSU as you call it, they become their own property.
Yes.
Am I correct or am I dreaming?
Yes, well, this is what the witness said.
That's it.
Yes.
I mean, it's like selling a Bentley. Once you pay that 8 million, after taking it from whoever,
Yes.
it becomes yours.
Yes.
So that's my view.
Yes.
But it's different with an affidavit, obviously. Okay, that's my view.
Yes.
So I was thinking widely about the fact that they are saying this gentleman, the colonel, can't testify on documents of Vodacom. Even if he says, I am the one who composed and compiled and configured exhibit KKK5C. Is that what you said? That's my point. Okay. Anyway, let's continue. Yes. So you said you're going to show us how you went about compiling that document.
I can do it. Hello. This is the same copy you got.
Which copy is that?
That's the one I compiled yesterday. You can see it's a bit small because I have to put both pages together to prove that I work under information from Vodacom and the information we receive on the 205. So I can hand.
Have you discussed with all of them how you're going to explain this document?
No, not yet.
Let us simplify that. So if you don't want to have a conference with the kernel,
But
so that you must tell us how you compile this. If you don't want to, there's no problem. He can say, because I was asking that question in clarification.
yeah. No, because actually I already explained to the court.
Yeah, fine.
What I did, I used the downloads and I used the section 205.
Right.
And I combined the two. If you see under downloads, the conversation or the transaction happened at say 10 to 5 on that day, you just go to the 205 on that day in the date and time and you compare the two.
Okay. So it was a comparison of both documents.
That's correct, yeah.
The downloads and the section 205.
That's correct, yeah.
And then you combine them.
That's right. You make one statement of it.
And this is dictated by the time.
That's correct, yeah. The date and the time.
The date and the time.
That's correct, yeah.
So it's how many? Was it 3 documents? In other words,
No, that's
you used 3 numbers. You said.
only on this incident, only
Yeah,
the
on
one
this
of Kelly.
incident.
But there was 3 numbers on my 205
Oh, I
which I
see.
received.
There were 3 numbers on the 205.
Yeah, but I only concentrate on this document on the number of Kelly.
So this is how you compile this
That's correct, yeah.
exhibit. What exhibit is this now?
It's going to be Exhibit 5E.
5E.
Yeah. You will see on my last page, I actually put the extraction of the download, and
Yeah.
then the column I put in my statement as per page 23.
You don't have a bigger font.
No.
You
That's
can't-
my problem.
Are you saying we put a man on the moon, and then in South Africa we can't enlarge the font?
No,
We can't.
no, I can't. Because then I'm not going to put both pages together on one page.
Okay, but can we read this small font?
Yes, yeah, you can read.
I'm half blind, so see. So that's the only way you
That's the only
compiled
way.
it.
Yeah, and that is the reason why I put the two together here. Because maybe I should just hand it to them and then we can go through it page by page.
Yeah, if you want to.
If the court allows me. While we're on this, my lord, I just want to mention to the court, I hope we can finish today or tomorrow because I'm not available next week or thereafter.
Well, I don't have control over it.
Yes, but I just want to mention it
Yeah.
to the
So
court.
you're saying you're not available tomorrow?
No, tomorrow I'm still available.
Oh, okay.
But I'm also leaving on the latest, let's say 2 o'clock.
Oh, you've got to be at the airport at
At 2,
2 o'clock.
that's correct.
Meaning you must leave here at 10.
Oh no, one Easter road is open.
Okay, fine. Okay, let's continue then.
Everyone got one now. Okay, if you go to the first page,
Uma siyake ekhasini lokuqala,
or let me put it on the screen.
Yeah, maybe, fine. And you're going to have to be cross-examined on this, because
Yes.
it's my request for the explanation.
That's correct, they can ask me.
Yeah, they'll have to.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
The court, madam.
Yeah.
I'm requesting the court to make a clarification here because the witness was still under cross-examination.
Yeah, it's still under
So
cross-examination.
I'm putting my cross-examination in abeyance in order to attend the issue
Okay,
that,
if you want
that were raised by the
If you
court.
want us to do it the other way, you can do it. Because you must remember this evidence came
Yes.
after he said he composed the document.
Yes.
Now, I just wanted to know how did he compose it. But if you're not, you don't want to hear that, there's no problem. I can ask that after you've cross-examined. You can take down that concoction.
No, I just wanted to clarity, my lord.
No, no, fine.
that
Continue
we
with the
are-
cross-examination.
We are suspending my cross, actually we're putting my cross-examination
Yes,
in
fine.
abeyance for
Let me
him
not-
to continue
Let me not do that.
with this clarification to
Okay,
the
let me
court.
not do that. Are you saying it's illegal?
No,
Okay,
no. I
fine.
just wanted clarification, my lord. Because
Yeah, fine, no problem. I thought we all read section 167 and 168. I'm acting in terms of that. Yeah, no,
then
no,
if
no,
that
but-
is the case, my lord, is fine. Then we can put my cross-examination in abeyance and
no,
allow
no.
him the space
No, no,
to
look.
clarify the court.
That section doesn't say that. Can you give me the 167 there? Yeah, it's 167 and 186. You don't have a church, yeah. Just read 186 and 167.
167 reads
Mr. Ramasipiri will read 186.
as follows.
So that he reads 167, you read 186.
The heading is Court may examine a witness or person in attendance. The court may at any stage
Yeah, that's what I'm using, at any stage.
of
Right.
criminal proceedings examine any person other than an accused who has been subpoenaed to attend such proceedings or who is in attendance at such proceedings, and may recall and re-examine any person, including an accused, already examined at the proceedings, and the court shall examine or recall and re-examine the person concerned if his evidence appears to the court essential to the just decision of the case.
Yeah,
Then
fine.
section 186.
Why don't you say Mr. Ramasipiri must read it? You don't have a... You don't have the...
section 186, you can go 186.
186 is that side.
I can't see it, man, this thing is too small for me. I have to go later. Read it for me.
Mr. Ramasipila has asked me to read it.
Okay.
Court may subpoena a witness, there's a heading of the section. The court may at any stage of criminal proceedings subpoena or cause to be subpoenaed any person as a witness at such proceedings, and the court shall so subpoena a witness or so cause a witness to be subpoenaed if the evidence of such witness appears to the court essential to the just decision of the case.
Okay. Yeah, it's 167. Yeah, but continue, Mr. Mnisi. You've removed that thing.
That's good.
Okay, fine. Yes, Mr. Mnisi, you can continue with your cross-examination.
I'm not so sure, Madam. The court will recall yesterday that it raised the possibility that Mrs. Pinky Vittillingham should be here. I'm not so sure whether the state has addressed the court in that regard. Thank you, Madam.
No, he's already told me that he's not available today. He says he's available tomorrow, and I said, when I intended to call it, it was because I was being accused of letting a witness who is not employed by Vodacom of using Vodacom documents. And on second thoughts, it's obvious that this very witness, Colonel Steyn, is the one who composed the document, not Vodacom. Vodacom gave the police 6,296 pages of Section 205 numbers. Is that not so?
Yes.
And Colonel Steyn then says he went about his job as an analyst. Eventually, he composed this KKK 5C, triple K5C. That's why it was arising. But I don't think it's necessary because he is the author or the compiler of the very document which he characterizes as KK5C. And that KK5C is a, it's a consolidation of about 3 other numbers. Okay, you heard me. Then continue, sir.
Thank you, Madam. Mr. Steyn, the compilation of cell phone data by Vodacom is governed by the provisions of Section 25 of Act 2002, which is the Electronic Communications and Transaction Act. That is the authority that empowers them to compile cell phone records and data. Now, in your case, what body of legislation or authority enables you or empowers you to compile all the information that you just presented at court here?
My Lord, did he address me or Mr. Steyn?
The address is Colonel Steyn.
No, Mr. Steyn.
Okay, fine.
Oh.
On his behalf, Colonel Steyn, may you answer that?
The investigation officer, like I already mentioned in court, applied through the normal legal way to get hold of the documentation. It's been signed by a magistrate, and in that way we receive it in a legal way.
Toke lapha uphi-ke umthetho okugunyaza ukuthi wena wakhe le document njengoba uthi wena uyakhe le document cha kusho ukuthi-ke umphenyi kuleli cala uyena o-applyayo bese-ke imantshi nayo iyasayina ukuze ikwazi ukuthi igunyaze ukuthi kwenziwe lo msebenzi.
That I understand. The investigating officer applies to the magistrate to approach Vodacom, for Vodacom to supply them with particular information in relation to a particular cell phone. That I understand. I want to know, in respect of the police, what body of authority do you have or legislation that authorizes you to do exactly what Vodacom does?
I received a sworn statement from the investigation officer, which authorized me to do the necessary analysis for you.
Toke umuphi-ke umthetho lo ogunyaza amaphoyisa ukuthi awasebenzisane nalokhu okukhishwa uVodacom. Asithi ke cha umphenyi uthole istatement esivela kumphenyi esiyisona statement esamgunyaza ukuthi awenze lo msebenzi.
My Lord, if I'm not
Are you-
mistaken, I think it's section 36 of the Constitution Act, which allows me to make use of any exhibit to prove that a crime has been committed. But I can be wrong. I know there's a section which allows us to work on that.
Acicanga ukuthi khona section 36 okuwona umgunyaza ukuthi asebenzisene inanoma yini ukuthi alethe isiqiniseko sokuthi kukhona ubugebengu obenziwe.
I'm going to request you, Mr. Steyn.
You don't want to call him Colonel Steyn?
Sir, I'm going to refer you I'd rather refer you to sir. I always forget this phrase, sir. But in any
I'll do it
event-
on your behalf. Whenever you want to address him, you must just indicate to me, and I'll tell him, Colonel Steyn, Advocate Nisi is asking you a question. No
But
problem.
the court does not even have to do that, my lord, because from where I'm standing, I don't think that I'm committing an offense.
No, you're
when
not.
I refer to him as Mr. Steyn, that's not an offense. It can't be an offense, my lord.
My Lord, I'm also an officer of the court. I just want to establish the difference between a title and a rank. Because Colonel Steyn is an ex-police officer, and a title remains with him until he dies. So why are we keep on calling him Colonel if he's no longer a police officer?
He prefers that way.
No, my Lord,
That's what he told
can we
the court.
get a direction from the court? We cannot get directions from the witness. He will remain Mr. Steyn. In that docket, in that witness box, is Mr. Steyn. He's no longer a police officer. He's an ordinary citizen of this country.
I'm still holding my rank, my Lord.
Yeah, but we'll address you as Mr. Steyn, not as Kennedy.
My Lord, then I've got no purpose in court anymore. Because I get testified, give myself my witness statement is when I was a colonel in the police.
Or is that what he's implying, that because you're no longer a policeman, you can no longer testify?
Yes, that's correct.
No, I don't think he means it that way.
My Lord, let me also, as an officer of this court, my Lord, for lack of better word, this is becoming a joke. For
I agree.
the sake of brevity,
I agree.
let progress be made.
Yes. In what way?
My Lord, whether he's a colonel, he's a master, as long as there's no insult, let us proceed.
Yes, okay.
My lord, on the same vein as the court would normally refers me as Mr. Mnisi, I'm an advocate. My title is I'm an advocate. But throughout this proceeding, the court has been referring to me as Mr. Mnisi, and I never took any offense on that. So I also find no logical reason for Mr. Steyn to take an offense when I'm referring to him as Mr. Because that's not an insult. In any event, when he comes in there, a person says a Mr. It does not say a colonel. That's not an insult.
Yeah,
And
can
I
you
also
con-
find it very,
Can you
very.
continue, Mr. Nisi?
That
Continue.
is exactly what the court has just done. The court does not address me as advocate. It says Mr. and I'm not taking an offense.
What does what does the ethics documentation state how advocates address the court?
The authority that the court has just referred us, I think it was the day before yesterday, it says for as long as you do not use a derogative word towards the witness, any word that symbolizes that you are respecting him, then that is fine. So I'm saying to him, Mr. He does
Okay,
not
fine.
want me
No
to
problem.
refer to
Okay.
him as Mr.
You-
He wanted the court to make a ruling on this
No,
one.
no, I'm not making a ruling. You can continue calling Mr., but I will refer you as Colonel Steyn, okay?
Thank you, my Lord.
Thank you, my lord. Now, Mr. Steyn, I wonder if you understand me. I say Vodacom derives their power or authority to deal with or to provide cell phone records from a particular number through the legislation that I've referred you to. Now, is there, now my question is, what body of the law empowers? Law means it can either be a body of the law, I refer to a legislation, and a policy, you know, things such as those that are saying to the police, through this, you can do, you can go and investigate a person's cell phone in order to get a particular information that you can then go and use at court. I want that authorization. What is that authorization?
That authorization, according to me, is section 205, my lord.
Okay. Tjela lapha imuphi umthetho okugunyaza ukuthi uyiphoyisa uhambe uyohlola umakhalekhukhwini womuntu ukuthi uzosebenzisa la e-court osethi yena cha mina ngibona sengathi section 225.
Thank you. Is that the same section 205 that authorizes you that after you have received information from Vodacom, for your own purposes of analyzing that information that you had received from Vodacom, you also need to add your 2-hour grace in your analysis in order to come to a particular result?
My lord, I can just mention the 2-hour rule got nothing to do with a Vodacom statement.
Tika hayi mina ngibona sengathi ke njengoba ubuzothi umthetho iwona yini lo mthetho logunyaza ukuthi uphinde unezezele usebenzise lo mthetho lokuthiwa i-2-hour rule. Esethi hayi ngibona ukuthi usemqoka lokho ukuthi ungafakwa la kulolu daba le ndaba ye-2-hour.
And that is exactly my point. What are the bases? Where do you derive authorization for you, having received information from Vodacom, for you to analyze it? You say you're making your own 2-hour grace into the information that you derive from Vodacom.
If your XRY program tells you that you must add 2 hours, and you got a document from Vodacom with, let's say, normal time on it, then you know you must add 2 hours. It's simple like that.
Athi ukuthatha phike lokho ukuthi uzofaka le 2 hours lena njengoba uthi ukusebenzisa lo mthetho 2-hour grace, athi no, the XRY program iyona ekutshela ukuthi umuntu oqhubeka usebenza ufanele ufake ama-hour amabili.
With due respect, Mr. Steyn, I'm going to request you to make that information that says to you, if you're working on an Excel and information from Vodacom, you need to put in 2 hours there on. But thank you. That's just a request. Now let's proceed. Now, you say I heard the court saying that Exhibit K5C and Exhibit K5 are documents that you had prepared yourself. Is that so? K5C and K5, these are documents that you yourself had prepared. That is what the court said. Is that so?
Can you just elaborate on prepare or do myself? I did go and print this document and hand it to the court as an exhibit. I never compiled this document by myself.
Thank you.
Athi la ngizwe inkantolo yethu K5C no K5 wena owalungisile lama document uzowaletha la wathi yayicha mawukuthi masisichaza ngokuthi ukulungisa sikhuluma ngani mina ngiwaprintile ngaletha lana ukuze ngizowasebenzisa lenkantolo.
So is it then correct that you only went into your system and printed this document in the form in which they are? You never changed anything on this document.
That's correct.
Thank you.
Athi wena ungaqiniseka yini ukuthi uye emshinini wakho wayo printa lama document njengoba enjalo akukho lutho akukho shintsho olulethile kulama document athi yebo.
So in essence, what you're saying, this is exclusively a product of Vodacom.
That's correct.
Athi ke lo lawa ke usho ukuthi ama document asevota khona athi yebo.
Thank you. Now, on the exhibits, triple K5C, which is the product of Vodacom and triple K5, may you kindly take us directly to the transactions, which are the calls that were made between the number.
Which he was using
Yes.
was active.
Thank
That
you.
is what you can read in that paper.
Okay,
You can see data has been used.
yes.
Athi ke le ngakhombisa yena la khombisa khona ukuthi le khona la ezasetshenziswa khona lezi number 435 no 202 athi cha akukho la ungakubona kodwa kuyakhombisa ukuthi kwakusebenziswa idatha la ngoba iBlackberry kwakusebenziswa lo mshini lo iBlackberry web ekhombisayo ukuthi iyona eyayisetshenziswa uma kusetshenziswa le data.
So basically, you handed in this document to demonstrate that indeed this BlackBerry phone at a particular period was active, it used data. That's just to demonstrate that there was data used on this phone in this particular period.
If
through
you
this
look to
document.
that exhibit, that's correct, Lord.
Thank you.
Athi ubheka lapho uzobona ukuthi ya yebo le phone le yayisetshenziswa.
Now, that being the case, you then came to the conclusion that there was therefore a call that was made on the strength of this document, which are to prove that data was being used. That there was therefore a call that was made between the number ending 4358 and the number ending 202.
Like I already mentioned in the report, my Lord, that's not enough. You have to use the second, obviously the third or fourth page on my exhibit 5E of this morning, where I indicate exactly that I used the download as well as the information on the section 205.
Andisenkhombisile ke la ngomuhlola kufanele ukuthi ubheke futhi na ku page 3 na page 5 waleli page la ngikhombisa khona ukuthi cha yebo iyasetshenziswa.
Thank you, sir. That is just what I wanted to clear. I think you will come to the exhibits on the documents which you handed in today, when the court takes you through that which the court would request you to clarify him on. I think we'll have an opportunity to cross-examine you after the court would have requested you to clarify
But,
him. Thank you.
But my Lord, if you could remember correct, on Monday or Tuesday, I did discuss that CD with them. I did point out to the court the times the calls or the transactions happen.
Ngakhumbula kahle ngathola ukuthi umsumlo ngakhombisa le CD ngayikhuluma nabo ngabachazela ukuthi lama transaction enzeka nini.
Thank you, sir. Now let's go to exhibit triple K4. Exhibit triple K4. Have you already been able to find it?
That's correct.
Thank you. Now, who compiled this document, exhibit triple K4?
That's what I received from the downloader.
Atwa triple K4 banu ayicompare bathi nda ile engayithola ku downloader.
The downloader will be one of the TSU members.
No, it's going to be Sergeant Muswana.
Athi uyana yini omunye walaba baleli qembu le you said TS what?
TSU, but he has corrected
Yena
me to
into
say it's
omunye
Mushwana.
weqembu le-TSU wathi cha ngithole ku-Sergeant Mushwana.
Thank you for the correction. And then, after you received this document, you went on to analyze it in order to compile your own viewpoint on whether or not there was indeed a communication between the number ending 358 and the number 202, not so?
That's correct, recall.
But uyahambile ngosiyohlaziya ukuthi ngabe kwenzekile yini ukuthi number 4358 no 202 zikwazile yini ukuxhumana nathi yebo.
So I'm going to request that for purposes of understanding this document or for purposes of naming it, although it's named, it's Exhibit K4, because I did not know where this document comes from, we're going to say this is a download that Mr. Steyn received from Mr. Mushwana,
That's correct.
just for ease of reference.
Athi ngaye ukuze sikwazi ukuthi sibe negama esingalisebenzisa sibiza ngokuthi download evela kwaMshwana wathi yebo.
And you're saying you went through this document, you analyze it, you understand the content of the document
That's
after you
correct.
receive it.
Ufundile le document wayihlaziya uyazwisisa ukuthi kunani wathi yebo.
Thank you. I must be very sincere with you that the process that me and you are going to embark on is going to be rather very tedious. But unfortunately, that is what I need to do. I just got to do it. Now, as I'm saying, I don't know what this document is. All that I see here, it's numbers of cell phones and all the information that is contained here. But from what you're saying, this is a download. But nonetheless, let us look at this document. Is it true that it has got a number that ends with 358? Not so. On the extreme left of the column.
That's correct.
Athi kuyiqiniso ukuthi khona le number egcina ngo358 wathi yebo.
And that number is common throughout those pages, not so?
That's correct. It's because it's a download of that file.
Yes.
Wathi yebo le number le ngathi ihlale ibonakala lapha wathi yebo ngoba i-download yaleyo phone.
And the next column on the first page, this document is not even numbered. There are so many pages, but they are not numbered, but it's fine. We'll try to navigate through that. Now the next column there, it says type on top there, not so?
That's correct.
Athi
Thank you.
liqiniso ukuthi ikhuluma elandelayo ikhuluma ngesikhathi.
And the next column thereafter, it says tell from.
That's correct.
Thank you.
Athi liqiniso ukuthi le khuluma elandelayo ithi come from.
Yes. And the next column thereafter, it says tell to.
That's correct.
Athi le elandelayo ikhuluma ibe ukuthi tell to.
Thereafter, we've got the next column that reads from.
That's correct.
Athi ikhuluma elandelayo ithi from.
The next column is to.
Le elandelayo ikhuluma ithi to.
That's correct.
Wathi
next-
yebo kunjalo.
The next column reads to, open bracket, MATC. Time, there's no close bracket there, so I don't know what that means. But that is what is scripted in the document, not so?
That's correct.
Athi kuliqiniso futhi ukuthi column elandelayo ebhala ukuthi to yase kuvula ibracket wase kuthiwa MATC wase ithi time. Kodwa yangavala ibracket.
Now, the next column is duration, and the last one is storage.
That's correct.
Athi
Thank you.
liqiniso futhi ukuthi column elandelayo ithi duration emva kwalokho ke ibisithi storage.
Thank you. Now, what follows is whether it was that number 435 had a missed call, whether it received a call from all those numbers that are written on the third column. They're not so.
That's correct.
Athi hawo le number egcina ngo435 iyabonakala ukuthi kukhona inamba eziningi ezazama ukuthi zishaye ucingo zangakwazi ukungena.
Thank you. For the sake of time, let us quickly jump to, when you look on those numbers, the tell from, there's that number there just towards the end of the page that ends with the number 677. 3/4 down the page, towards the end of the page, the number that ends with 677.
That's correct.
It's also followed by a number ending with 677.
That's correct.
It's
Ngathi
also
lapha umusi yangasigcineni kwekhasi khona la kunenamba egcina ngo677 phinde landele inamba efana nayo wathi yebo kunjalo.
Yeah, I want our discussion to be concentrated on from that number onwards.
Yes, first konde ngo ingqoqo yethu iqonde ngo kulezo number ke lezi engikhombise zona.
Now, 078270444358. There's a on the type, on the block written type, it says missed. Do you see that?
That's correct.
Thank
Wathi
you.
ke le number ke lena egcina ngo4358 ngaphansi ke kwala la kukhulunywa khona ngetype okusho ukuthi uhlobo lokuxhumana lapha ibhala ukuthi missed okusho ukuthi ke igejila ikwazanga ukungena.
And on that block written tell from, it says 07767307677. Not so.
That's correct.
Wathi ke lapha ke ngaphansi kwala kuthiwa ile number ucingo oluphuma kuyona ibhala ukuthi 2776730777.
Now, I don't know whether that next information falls under the column match or time, but be that as it may, the next information on that line in a parallel form reads 2014-0802. That is the 2nd of August 2014, not so?
Come again with the time?
No,
you-
I'm still on the date.
Or on the date, yeah, it's
Yeah.
the 2nd of August.
Yeah, the 2nd of August 2014, nay.
Wathi ke lapha ngaphansi kwala kubhala khona to met C time ubhala ukuthi ke umhla usuku lesibili umhla ka2 kuAugust.
Now, you go on to the next information, which I think it will be time. It says 05:55:42 a.m. That is now in the morning, not so?
That's correct.
Wathi uma sesikhathini sithi 05:55 wemizuzu nemizuzwana engamashumi amane nambili.
And there is that UTC in bracket device. And the last information there under storage is also device.
That's correct.
Thank you.
Wathi ke lapha ke bese kugcina ngula khona kusho khona ukuthi UCT device ebethu ngasekugcineni ke echaza ukuthi ebhale ukuthi device. Wathi yebo kunjalo.
Yeah. Now, for the sake of the information that I want to bring to your attention, let us concentrate from that point onward. Let us concentrate on the date and the time. In other words, we will no longer be reading that number that ends with 4358, whether it's a missed or whether it's a received, and who and the tell from. In other words, the first portion or the first 3 portions of the page, we would no longer be revisiting them. We'll only be concentrating on the last portion of the page where the time, the year, the UCT and the device are annotated. Are you with me?
That's correct.
Wathi
Thank you.
angeke sabheka ke lapha esikhathini into sobheka kuyona siqonda ngo osukwini nasesikhathini.
Now, the next information after the one that I've read, it also reads, in terms of time, it also reads 02/08/2014, 5:56:17 a.m. UTC device and device, not so?
That's correct.
Athe njengoba sefundile ukuthi 2014-0802 05:56:17 isikhathi athi isho ukuthi sekuseni UTC yasethi ke lapha ngasigcine device yagcina futhi ngaye lo device.
Thank you. Now, the next entry there is also the 2nd of October 2014. The time is 6:42:53 a.m. UTC in bracket device 00000018, and it also ends with device, not so?
That's correct.
Athe okulandelayo kubekwa usuku mhla ka-2 ku August 2014 isikhathi u-6:42:53 second and besethe sekuseni UCT device. Kodwa ke lapha ngaphansi kwa duration ibisikhipha ke ukuthi kunemizuzwana eyishumi nesishiyagalombili besithi ngasigcineni u-device.
Thank
Wathi
you.
kunjani?
Now, the next entry is also on the 2nd of August 2014, and the time now it's 07:15:52 a.m. In other words, it's 15 minutes, 52 seconds past 7 o'clock in the morning, and there is that UTC and the device in bracket, and the last inscription there is also device, not so?
Yeah, but just please keep in mind, every
I'm
time
saying not so.
I just
I've
want
just
to draw
read
the
you
court
information,
attention to
sir,
something, my
understand.
lord. Because now
Understand,
he's
sir.
reading time and he put words in my mouth. And I just want to put the court's attention on it. There stands UTC. In
Yes.
other words, it's 2 hours. So he can't tell me now it's 7 o'clock in the morning. So it must be 9 o'clock in the morning.
No, but
What does a UTC means? It's a plus 2 hour rule.
it's fine.
It's fine, yeah. But
It's
don't
fine.
tell me then, now you want to come back with the loud speaker and tell me I said this. Just rectify my, please, my lord.
My lord, I don't know what is the court's take on this attitude, because I'm just reading what I'm seeing here. Then the witness that takes it's just diverting, is off-ramping, I don't know to where, but this is his document that is presented to court here. And he says, I must understand what this UTC stands for. I don't know what does it stand for,
Yeah, but then he's trying to explain to you what it stands for.
but I'm going to request the court, my lord,
What?
also to try and direct this witness in a proper way, that a witness should be couth. The court must instill couthness in the
Yeah, can you
behavior of the
continue,
witness. my
Mr.
lord. Thank you. I'm proceeding, my lord.
Yeah,
This is time for the short adjournment. Can we take the short adjournment at this point?
okay.